Hi, my name is Andrew Duncan, and I'm going to be talking about communicating with consumers today. Communicating with consumers has changed over time from print to radio to television, and now the big thing is social media. Regardless of these changes, there are still key principles that stand strong with communicating with consumers. Integrated marketing communications. This focuses on promotion. There are three elements in integrated marketing communications: consumer target market, channels or vehicles through which the message is communicated with consumers, and then evaluation of the results. I'm going to go through all three of these elements with two different processes: the communicating process and the AIDA model. The communication process has seven processes, and it starts with sender and goes through transmitter, encoding, communication channel, the receiver, noise, and feedback. Researching online, the communicating process can vary, with some processes moving from one slot to the other, but I use the process set up from the book, so I'm going to go through it in that order. The first process is the sender. Anyone who wishes to convey an idea or concept. The sender's role is selecting the type of message, analyze the receiver, encourage feedback, and remove communicated barriers. And the senders has to be credible. Like, for example, BHP promoting environmental health. Receivers aren't going to really look at that as like real credible because it's BHP. And another example is Wells Fargo. Let's say they want to get a message across about being ethical when they have been known to do pretty shady things in the past. So receivers might not get their message that they're trying to see because they're not credible in sending that message. So they're not going to receive that message well because they're not credible. But as like for Walt Disney, they are a very credible source in getting a message across because people see the Walt Disney Company and see a very fun, ethical place and something they relate to. So they can get their points across very credible, and the receivers will listen to their message. The second step is the transmitter. An agent or an intermediate with which the sender works to develop the marketing communications. This can be like a creative department or a advertising agency. Their target to make a answer the four P's, like place, product, and promotion and price. Working to get the sender's message in more detail is this process. The transmitters and sender now have put together their intended message, and now they have to go from the advertising and press release, sales promotion, all that, and they have to make sure that their message is clear. A good example is the iconic "Got Milk." It's easy, it's rememberable, and it's pretty much asking a question like, "Did you remember to get milk?" So it was very encoding of what they were sending their message at or for. The fourth step is the communication channel. Um, Depending on your target area and people you're trying to reach is going to be what channel you're going to try to go through. Nowadays, social media is a big area to hit, especially for pretty much all ages now, actually. But if you want to get your product across, like in, let's say, Brazil or something, places like that don't really have, everybody doesn't have phone and social media like America or other countries. So maybe reaching them would be more like on television or radio or more print advertising. So the communication channel is a very important part and step of the communication process of what your target market is. The next process is the receiver. The receiver are the consumers who read, hears, and sees the information. Each company wants their message to reach the right person and to decode their message properly. After the receiver has received the message, the consumer is now noise. It's any interference that stems from competing messages, a lack of clarity in the message itself, or the flow in media. If there's a bad reception or just not much media coverage, I guess. A good example of bad clarity message is in 2012, Huggies had a put dad to the test campaign with commercials with dads being attentive to babies with full diapers, pretty much saying that dads don't know what they're doing and are being put to the test. And this came across bad for dads because the message was not clear. It was more portraying of dads can't handle kids by themselves instead of the campaign being more so the diapers were being tested and not the dads. The final stage is feedback. Feedback is the receiver communicating with the sender and informing the sender whether message was received and decoded properly. Measuring feedback is extremely important in marketing campaigns because it allows for a measure of success of the marketing campaign. Feedback can be measured through sales of product, complaints and compliments, redemption of coupons or rebates, and a big one is chatter on social media, whether it's good and bad. And there's other ways of getting feedback, but those are big ones. Now I'm going to go over the AIDA model. The model identifies cognitive stages on consumers and what they go through during the buying process. As the world of advertising becomes more competitive, advertising businesses become more difficult. But the basic principles stay the same. That you must attract awareness and persuade someone to take action in your product. The first A in the model is awareness. Brand awareness measures how many consumers in a market are familiar with the brand and what it stands for. There's awareness metrics. The first one is aided recall, which is when a consumer indicates the brand when the name is presented, like like they see the name and then they are familiar with, oh yeah, I've heard of that before. And the highest awareness is top of mind awareness. It's the highest level of awareness and occurs when they're asked a question about a product or service. For example, Coca-Cola has one of the highest brand awareness in the world. When you're talking about soft drinks, a lot of times people will say, let's go get some Coke, when they're not even really wanting Coke. They're wanting some other product like Dr. Pepper or something like that, but they call it Coke because it's that high in awareness where it's covers like pretty much all soft drinks. The I in the model is interest. Once the consumer is aware of the company's existence, communications must increase interest level. Consumers must be persuaded that this product is worth investigating. Starbucks' marketing strategy in this is by being on every corner and promoting new creative drinks to gain interest of consumers. So they're going to walk by all these stores and see, oh, this new creative drink every time they walk by it and get interested in it. D in the model is desire. The goal is to get the consumer to the I want it stage and desire the product. Starbucks reaches new consumers by being on every corner and promoting creative drinks that consumers see constantly. Once a consumer passes by enough stores seeing this creative drink over and over again, the interest goes up and up to the desire states wanting to try this creative beverage and now to take action. The ultimate goal of marketing communication is getting consumer to take action. And this is the final stage in marketing communication, and the ultimate goal that they want overall is getting people to buy their product. I'm now going to talk about the lagged effect. This is not part of the process, but is a delayed response to market communications campaigns. For example, for Starbucks, a lag effect might be when they're promoting a drink that does not actually reach to a certain consumer. So a lag effect might be when they actually promote a different drink and it gets a different customer in the door. This can be a lagged effect for any marketing campaign. These were the sites that were used, and I appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed. Thank you.